Hi there, this is Steve Spurrier. You can join University of Florida Hall of Famer Shane Matthews and also the two-time SEC Player of the Year every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, opinions, and some of the biggest names in sports. You can find him on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Or you can watch him live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
Good morning. You're looking live at PodUp Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security Systems Studios. Large enough to serve you, small enough to care. It's Friday. You got me and JC, and we'll take a lot of comments, questions, texts, Facebook Live, YouTube Lives, all that good stuff. If you just are waking up, Georgia is playing Mercer over in Rome right now. The Americans, they might as well send me and JC to go play in the Ryder Cup. Good morning, JC. You're on the Titan No More hotline.
Well, I woke up and thank you. Good to be here. I woke up, and, you look at the screen, it's 4-0, 4-0, whatever, and you just know exactly what's happened. These guys just cannot keep the ball in the fairway, and the rough is so bad over there at Marco whatever golf course in Rome that the Europeans are just, their advantages are obvious. They're chipping the ball in, they're putting better, and they're keeping the ball in the fairway. And you have to keep it in the fairway on this particular course. You would love it because it's kind of like a U.S. Open type of layout with the rough and the greens. So, I don't know. Maybe in the afternoon. Yeah, I don't understand what a four ball to me is like best ball, and then they've got, I don't know when alternate shot happens. They had 4 sums this morning. I don't know what the difference is between that and 4 ball.
Regardless, they're kicking our tails.
They're killing us. They're killing us.
Here's what you and I were talking about, and we have people on here that do follow golf, some that don't. But could you imagine all the money you spent to go to the Ryder Cup? One of the guys in my golf group, 27-year-old kid, he's over there. At the end of today, we could be down 8-0. You only need 14 points, I believe, to retain the cup.
Yeah.
So they play 2 sets of two tee times tomorrow morning and afternoon, and then you got Sunday, all the individual matches. Could you imagine if we were closed out?
Yeah.
Before tomorrow evening's round?
Yeah, it would be so anticlimactic, and it's too bad. In the Ryder Cup history, there's been 10 4-0 sweeps in sessions, only 10, including today. And every team that has swept in a 4-0 session has gone on to either win or retain the Ryder Cup. The history is not on our side here, my man. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, looks like the Euros are going to do it again to us. Doggone it. I mean,
we ain't won over there in like 30-something years.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been.
We can't travel. Long. Can't win on the road, JC.
No, it's awful, man.
Sounds like somebody else I know.
I knew when they broke out those hats they're wearing, those trucker hats with USA on. It looks so cheesy. It's like they bought those things at a 7-Eleven, in Stark. It's just awful. The whole look is bad. I don't like any of it. Anyway, it's too bad. They're going to get swept. If not swept, it could be easily 7-1 or 6-2, and that's going to be very difficult to come back from. But it's not impossible, but it's going to be very difficult. Remember the old great comeback when Ben Crenshaw was, I got a good feeling about this. I got a good feeling. So, I don't have a good feeling. So anyway, fortunately for us, QB, stateside, and 6 hours the other direction where we are, there's college football and a ball game, and you're going to go fly to Lexington today. Isn't that great?
Yeah, there were some games last night. Also, the NFL. Yeah. My NFC champ just took it to the boys in Lambeau Field last night.
Yeah, and we had the Lions. We both took them, and they look pretty stout right now at a hefty 3-1 record. Is it 3-1 or are they 2-1?
They're 3-1.
The 3-1. So that's, I think the last time they started out 3-1. They made a wild card. I think they finished 9-7 and made the wild card. I don't, but it's a good look right now in Detroit. Goff is playing football. He is distributing the football, my man. And that's what we want to see tomorrow up in Lexington.
Yeah, no doubt. Reggie says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law. Anyone see the interview with Mullen and Spurrier? I saw bits of it. I didn't see the whole thing. He said Mullen said he ran some of Spurrier's plays. Spurrier then said, I don't remember that. You must have been on the road somewhere.
I don't know that either. That sounded weird. But Tulsa won big, covered easily, and beat Temple, and that's where Steve Spurrier Jr. is calling plays for Kevin Wilson. And so
Speaking of that, nothing cracks me up more than when you go on Twitter and you see these celebrations in the locker room. They had Kevin Wilson when goofy old white men are dancing with the players. It cracks me up.
It's funny, yeah. But they're all into it, man. Good for Tulsa. I mean, that's great. The only problem with Tulsa, and it's just a thing for me, is that there is no chance. Physically, there is zero chance you could have a hurricane in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
No. I'm glad you brought that up.
Zero chance.
I had a question and comments I wanted to throw out to all our listeners around the world.
Around the world.
Yeah. There's two things that really I want to know what they think the dumbest nickname in college football is and the dumbest logo. So here's my dumbest nickname, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. As you just stated, they should be the Tulsa Tornadoes.
Yes. Okay? Yes. Okay?
Not the damn it is impossible for a hurricane to ever hit Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it's just the dumbest damn nickname ever. The dumbest logo to me in all of sports is the Miami Hurricanes U logo. That's the dumbest logo.
I know. Go with historic. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad you brought that up because I had it jotted down today. I'm watching that game, and they got the damn hurricane flags in the middle of the field. I'm going, this is so stupid.
There is not one hurricane flag for sale in Tulsa outside of that campus. There can't be. They don't need a hurricane flag. It's tornadoes. They are the Tulsa Tornadoes. I'm going to start. That's going to be my new campaign. After kicking Vanderbilt out of the SEC, I'm going to campaign.
You got a lot of campaigns going on.
And look, how cool would their helmet be, dude? With a big old twister on the side like Bradford County or whatever, right? So,
yeah, I mean, Bradford has it. Yep.
Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, a blue hurricane on a gold hat. Oh, I mean, a blue tornado on a gold hat. So I digress, but that's
I'm with you.
That's funny.
I'm with you. Michael on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, "Morning team. This is Mike from Gulfport, Mississippi."
Oh,
he must be an admiral then.
Yeah,
that's what they're called, the Gulfport Admirals.
Place.
Old school hat, JC. I love it.
Oh,
do you think we can get after their quarterback? Yes, I think they got issues on the O-line. I expect our defensive tackles to have a field day.
And the edge guys. I think Florida's better on the edge, too.
Yeah, we're a better football team. So we just got to go show it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I think Kentucky is. We haven't really seen what they're capable of. They beat Vanderbilt, but the Larry kid is going to be running around all over the place. That's what you want. You want them to try to disrupt their offensive flow. If
I want Billy, should I give him this shirt on the plane?
I mean, yeah, if you're going to be sitting on the plane with him, you might as well walk.
Well, he's going to be way up in first class. I'm in the back.
You'll be
you
back.
Think I should drop it off and say, "Damn it, Billy, let's call some plays where we ain't scared."
Well, or you could pass your little play sheet to the guy in the row ahead of you, and he'll pass it to that guy, and with Coach Naper's name on it.
Well, should I fold up the plays
and put it in an
envelope?
Yeah,
and just send it up from row to row. Hey, Coach Nate, this is Coach Nate.
Yeah, you'll be on row 46C, and he'll be up there in row 2, and you can just set it on up, and hopefully it'll get there. And if it does, it's meant to be, QB, and maybe we'll see a couple.
And he may say, "That guy in 46C, don't let him back on the plane." Yeah. Anyway, all right. So JC, I got some texts we got to get to. JC, you got to multitask when you do this show.
And don't forget, we got it Peachland Dental today.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of time.
All right.
I don't know what that means. All right, here we go. This says, "Good morning, guys. Victor Hovland is continuing his hot streak." Yeah, Victor, the swinging cowboy, pretty damn good player.
Isn't it ironic? It's ironic that it's so ironic to me that some of these great European players come to the United States, get educated, play their college golf, make their way in the United States, and then go kill us in the Ryder Cup.
Yeah. Dan says, "Give Napier some of the coasters from Spurs that had the plays drawn up on them." This is from Darryl. Says, "Good morning, guys. I think Devin Leary is a better QB than Joe Milton." Agreed. Need to force Leary into turnovers. Yeah, he's thrown 5 or 6 interceptions. I just don't think they can block us. I really don't. But he is a better player
I hope you're right, man. I
than
hope
Joe
you're right.
Milton.
I so bad want the Georgia game to matter, and that's just me thinking ahead, dude. But for that to happen, Florida has to be 6-1. Period. So
Yeah, no doubt. Chris from Mayaca says on the Titan Mar text line, Shane, your Detroit Lions Super Bowl picks looking good so far. Long season, but they're a very good football team.
they can play, man, and they're so much better on defense, I think, and that's the key for the Lions this year because they'll score. They'll score points.
I don't know who this is from, but they say we have nicer hats than those in Stark, JC. You meant to say Brooker.
Okay. Well, I love all my friends over in Bradford County, and yes, Brooker, excuse me, Brooker, and Bradford County, great little place, man. I really like going through there.
Do you think we should get Jamie Rogers, their head football coach? Think I should get one of their decals from their helmets and send it out to Bubba and say, put this on y'all's damn helmet?
Yes, and yes again. Yeah, isn't Bradford County really good, or what? They
yeah, they're very good.
Yeah,
they're very good.
So I mean, feed the karma. But Tulsa I think has a winning record. They've won more games this year than lost. So, but the nickname makes zero sense to me.
Van Der says Shane is finally admitting that Napier cannot call plays. I didn't say that. I don't have a problem. I just want him to call a couple more.
Why does Van say things that you don't say? That you say?
I don't know. I think he hears things.
What is Van?
He hears things.
Van, get those ears checked, brother. Come on, Van.
Jim on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. What is game day prep for these early games? How do they typically get themselves awake for these as opposed to night games? Curious on the routine. Okay, so teams do different things, but majority of the teams, it's a noon kickoff. Usually eat your pregame meal 4 hours before, so that's 8. They'll probably have them wake up 6 to 6:30ish. Sometimes, depending on the team, they may have like a little walkthrough out in the parking lot or just a team walk just to get the blood flowing before the pregame meal. But 12 o'clock's not bad. I mean, you don't have to wake up real early. So that's kind of what they do. You eat and you're on the bus by 10 heading to the ballpark. Mitch says the Campbell Fighting Camels in North Carolina is a dumb nickname. Yeah, there are not many camels up in North Carolina, but
very good point.
It has that nice
Campbell.
What is it when Campbell's is alliteration? Is it alliteration?
Something like that. Go with that.
like Buchholz Bobcats.
Yes, go with that.
It flows. Yes. Somebody, I think it's real quick, JC. I want to get to this day in sports, brought to you by
and by the way, Colorado again for the second time. Colorado is playing a game at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that's their fault. I'm trying to do this day in sports. Hang on.
Well, we're talking
brought
about
to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life. Campus USA Credit Union. This day in sports. In 1935, the Ryder Cup at the Ridgewood Country Club, wherever that is. The Americans win 9-3. I guess you only needed to get to 9 back in those days. The first of 7 consecutive wins by the Americans, 1935. Okay. That's this day of sports, brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Okay, what were you just saying?
Well, we were talking about what the routine was for a noon kickoff. Imagine what these poor kids doing in Colorado. They're kicking off at 10 a.m.
They're lucky. I thought they were playing at SC, but they're playing there. So they'll be eating their pregame meal at 6 a.m.
It's just
it's Fox's fault.
Oh, of course, absolutely. This big noon. There's nothing big about that, and nobody in Los Angeles, California at 9 a.m. is going to be thinking about football. It's just not part of that.
Well, do they ever think about any football in Los Angeles, California?
Very good point. Unless you're a 49ers fan living there, because those are the only people that show up for football games when they play the Rams. But yes, that's true. I mean, for me, a 9 a.m. kickoff, television, I love TV because I love watching every game, but man, these times are just trash. Put your game up against another game and compete, all right? The advertisers are still going to be there, dude. And that Colorado State game was the most watched game in years, maybe ever. And it was a night game, It wasn't a really late game for them because they're in Mountain Time, but it made more sense. And I think the community likes it better. But no, we're going to play football at 10 a.m. I mean, that's just asinine. If they do that here, first of all, I'm so glad that the Vanderbilt game next week is 4 o'clock. That gives you time. That gives the businesses and the economy and the local economy to thrive on the few weekends that we have to enjoy a football game in this town during the year. So I feel bad.
All right, Jerry on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon, says, Shane, it goes away. Would you agree that Napier should hire an OC? No, I don't agree with that. He got the job doing what he does. I would just he's conservative at times.
I just heard a lot of people belly aching this week. The whole week I've heard guys from out of town texting me about why didn't they try to score the other night? Blah 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 blah.
I don't really give a damn about the Charlotte game. It's over with.
I don't either.
Go win Kentucky. Nobody's going to remember what happened in Charlotte. There's just certain things that I would do or wish he would do against certain coverages, attack them, but that's not in his MO right now. But we'll see. It could change tomorrow. I don't know. But I don't think he needs to hire an OC. I don't think he needs to hire an OC. Alan says, Shane, if you were offered a spot helping with the play calling, would you take it with Napier? No. Not in today's college football.
No, they just said play calling, QB. You don't have to
go. If I could just show up for practice and sit in some meetings and just sit up in the box and make some suggestions, yeah, I'd do that. That'd pay me a lot of money, though.
How about a consultant?
With today's college football, the timing, the nonsense you got to deal with NIL and recruiting. No. I'll just sit up here and bitch and complain or make suggestions like all the other fans do.
and send your play sheet from row 46C. That's what you're going to do. Yes, on the plane. At least you're on the plane. Thank God. Yeah.
Thomas wants to know, do you know what gate and what time the team will be arriving at Kroger Field? First time traveling there. Thomas, I do not know that. I would say that we're going to arrive. I don't have the itinerary with me. I would assume we leave the hotel right around 2 hours for kickoff. Maybe. So let's say we leave. I bet we leave the hotel at 9:45 to 10 o'clock. But if you look on Twitter, some of the media people always tweet where the Gator walk when they get off the bus. So you can follow. If you follow any Gator media people on Twitter, they will let you.
I mean, if you're going to Lexington, you're going to love the place. It's a really cool joint, and the stadium's a little bit off the beaten path somewhat, but it's close enough. And you're going to enjoy the place. Weather's going to be great. And I'm going up there in November for Alabama, Kentucky. So it's a great place to visit, man. And there's a horse track for all you horse track lovers. I think they run in October, so that wouldn't really help us in this case. But there's a horse track literally right by I think it's right by the airport or campus or something. Anyway.
Jim says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, even if an OC was hired, it wouldn't be considered until after the season. That is correct. Then he's got to fire somebody.
That's what I said. I was just going to say, they've already fired a coach, and now they've just told the head coach he can't do his thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, folks, let's get to reality here. Think about what it will take to go 2-0 in the SEC and forget about all this crap. Look. If Florida wins
positive the game, JC, we like positive JC. I like
If they win the game 10-9,
who cares?
You're 2-0 in the SEC. Next week you'll be 3-0 in the SEC. And so, I mean, hey, this is just let's think about that. Think about running the ball for 200 yards if necessary, and having Graham Mertz throw it for 20 to 25 times and with 2 touchdown passes. Now, QB, if Graham Mertz throws the ball 20 or 25 times, throws 2 touchdown passes, and we run the ball for 200 yards, do we win?
Yeah, I want us to throw it for more than that, though.
More than 25 times?
I would. I really would.
Well, I just think realistically that's what we can expect. But if we do, that might be a bad thing because that might mean we're losing. So if he throws it for 20 to 25 times, that probably means Florida is winning and being really successful running the football. And if that happens, the Gators will be 4-1, 2-0 in the SEC.
Yeah. Andy says, Shane, it seems that Danny's had contact with Mertz. Did Danny do any coaching after his playing days? No, Danny's busy raising money and doing great things around the world with Desire Street. Josh on the Titanamar text line, he says, gentlemen, what's your best NFL game of the weekend? I'd say Dolphins at Bills. I haven't looked at it, but I would agree with that.
100%. That game will feature 2 playoff teams from the same division.
JC, I got to read you this tweet. I read it yesterday on the show, but I'm going to redo it because this is just fascinating to me.
Okay, let's hear it.
And we talk about Hugh Freeze supposedly has given up his play calling duties. I got a feeling Hugh Freeze is going to say the hell with that. I'm going to call plays. Do you know that the Auburn Tigers have thrown for fewer than 100 yards in 5 straight Power 5 games dating back to last year?
Well,
they threw for 75 at Mississippi State, 60 at A&M, 77 against Bama. This year, 94 at Cal, and 56 yards against the Aggies last week. They are 43 for 98 for 43% in those games.
Oh, God. Well, it just shows you the ineptitude at quarterback.
Well, they went and got supposedly the best quarterback from the Big Ten, Peyton Thorne. Well,
yeah, but that's not Bo Wallace tossing it around for Hugh Freeze right now. Wasn't Bo Wallace his guy? So, or was it Chad Kelly? It's one of those.
He had both.
Okay, so think about that. He had 2 quarterbacks. They don't have one. They don't have one at Auburn. Now, this kid from the Big Ten, he may be thinking, "Wow, the game is fast down here." We're not playing Northwestern and Purdue. So, I mean, it would do Auburn a lot of good to play Vanderbilt and to get some confidence. But that's I'm still on my campaign to get Vanderbilt out of the SEC. I'm going to stay with that. But Auburn has no quarterback. They have a great coach. Yeah, are you telling me that Hugh Freeze just forgot how to call plays? I mean, I don't know. At Liberty, what were they averaging? 55 points a game? So maybe Hugh Freeze forgot. He forgot. I don't remember how to break down defenses. No, the answer is he doesn't have a guy that can throw it the way he wants to throw it. That's what I think.
Zach on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, Shane, the Beavers are favored tonight. Do you like Utah to win?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's on your list to pick on the games. We'll get to that here in just a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's see what this Facebook Live says right here. Adam says, Gators 28, Kitty Cats 21. Mertz hits a big play in the passing game to change the momentum tomorrow. Wilson's back. Need another threat opposite of Pearsall. I think you're going to see Andy Jean play a lot. I got a feeling.
Good.
I got a feeling.
Good.
Joseph says we need to throw it at least 30 times and run ETN 75% of the run plays. I like throwing it 30 times. I don't care who carries the ball. I like both our backs.
Wheel route to ETN. That will work.
Okay. So, JC, let's get to our Peachland Dental weekend picks. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's number one choice for dentistry, Port Charlotte surrounding areas. Visit them at peachlanddental.com.
Okay, QB, we have a very good list of really good games. Vegas has a lot of these games at under 10 points, but some of the ones we're picking are a little bit over 10 points, but they're feature teams. So we're going to start in the Big 12 with the soon-to-be SEC-bound Texas Longhorns at home against Kansas University because they call themselves KU. But
they're also called University of Kansas.
I know, but we go with KU. It's kind of weird. OU, but University of Oklahoma. Anyway,
it's so dumb out there.
IU, University of Indiana. This is another thing that just irritates the hell out of me in college football or college sports, like Golden Hurricanes in Oklahoma. But anyway, Texas is laying 16.5 points to Jalen Daniels, who is one of the most dynamic players in college football. That's too many. I'm taking Kansas in Austin.
I like the Jayhawks too, man. They beat them last time they played there 2 years ago. Don't forget.
Yeah, they did.
Don't think they'll win, but I think it'll be close. Real quick before we move on, Cliff says, with all the staff Billy has to take certain responsibilities, I don't understand why he doesn't hire an OC to take that responsibility off of him. Because again, he was hired at Louisiana. He got the job at Florida. Multiple Power 5 schools wanted this guy. Let's not forget that because of what he did at Louisiana. So you get hired. You don't quit doing what you did to get the job. It's not going to happen, people. So y'all might as well give that up. It's not going to happen.
White flag that one. All right, tonight we've got a couple of good games. Undefeated Louisville, and I'm telling you, watch out for them in the ACC. They can score points. They're at NC State, and they're actually laying 3.5 on the road. And I like Louisville to score about 40 points tonight. So I'm taking.
Well, everybody that's watched this podcast the last 3 years, Gene wants to know again with the background music. I don't know if we have background music going or not. We can't.
It's for our picks. I think it's great. Just enjoy.
Is it on? I don't know if it's on or not. Maybe Zach can put it on.
Yeah, Zach. Good job, Zach.
Everybody knows how I feel about Jeff Brom. I think he's one of the top 4 play callers in all of America.
He can score, man. They will score points.
Yes, he runs as close to an offense as Steve Spurrier's. I think the Louisville Cardinals are going to roll.
The ACC has gotten much better this year. Good conference. Utah, and I think the reason why they are 4-point underdogs to the Beavers is because Rising is not going to play. And even if he does, how effective is this kid going to be? Because he hasn't seen live action in 10 months. So I'm going to take Oregon State laying the 4. It's a lot. Utah's got a great defense, but Utah goes down on the road this weekend.
I like Utah because DJ Uiagalelei has played really bad the last couple of weeks. He's back to his Clemson days. He's been under like 40% throwing. Utah is just so solid. They ain't going to wow you. They're going to win the game freaking 20-14 probably.
Yeah, well, they won 14-7 last week or something. They don't score, but their quarterback's hurt, but their defense is fantastic. All right, let's get into Saturday. I don't know why I put this game on the board, but I just want to know if you think Nebraska can stay inside of 17.5 against the Michigan Wolverines, who, oh my God, are playing a road game. So Michigan actually had to travel. They had to pack their bags, get on a plane, and fly somewhere for the first time in God knows how long. They are playing Nebraska on the road, and it's 17.5, and you're going to take Michigan, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't even know if Jeff Sims is still Nebraska's quarterback. If he is,
he's not.
I got a question. Oh, he's not?
No, they took him out. That's why I like the Nebraska. They're going to lose by 17 and cover that hook. I'm taking Nebraska.
Are you 100% Jeff Sims is not their quarterback?
Well, he didn't play last week, so that's all.
I'll take the Cornhuskers at home. They're going to lose the game.
Sure, they're going to lose, but 17.5 is what you're asking.
All right, real quick, we got a couple Facebook. We're going to do some Facebook lives in between this session here.
All right, go ahead.
Andy says, "Has my career ever crossed paths with Jeff Brom?" No, but I want to say when I played, was it Jeff Brom the quarterback?
When I played quarterback.
I know he played quarterback, JC.
But
I'm trying to think if he was the quarterback.
No, it was after.
No, there was one other Louisville quarterback that lasted in the NFL a little bit. I thought we played against each other in the swamp. I could be wrong.
He did play in the swamp. He played in the swamp, but I don't think you were on the team at that time.
Nor says, "Are the Redskins getting their name back?" JC, have you been following that?
So I have, and one of the tribes that has always said we have never been offended by this are suing the team to put the helmet, the sticker, the head back on the helmet because that represented one of their Indian heroes of the past, a legendary Indian that was one of their heroes of that particular tribe, and they want that dude's head back on the helmet. Okay, so they're going out. They want them to change that, and I'm telling you, they got to change those colors to get it darker, get that dark burgundy back. And
the colors are the same, JC.
I think they're brighter. I think the dark.
No, they're not. They're the same exact color.
The gold,
same exact color.
Okay.
I will wager anything that you have.
They're
You're going to sit here and talk to somebody about uniforms and the paint codes and things. I would know this, JC. Okay, I would know this. Real quick, Jerry wants to know what's the box like in Kentucky that you and Sean will be in. It's a nice little box. The worst boxes I've been in are at Vanderbilt and Missouri and Florida
and Utah.
Utah's is very nice. We just couldn't open the door. I mean, the window. It was a very nice box. But from the radio booths, Florida's is not very good at all.
Small.
Missouri's is not.
How about what about Vanderbilt's?
Vanderbilt's not great either.
Yeah, well, there you go.
They got to do something for the. I mean, I don't care, but our box at home is terrible.
Okay. Any more Facebooks for us here?
There's a million, but go.
Look, if you want one, say it.
Well, JC, if I read every Facebook on here, we'd be here till the Ryder Cup is over.
Pick this one. The 10 a.m. kickoff at Colorado between USC and the Buffs. 21.5, dude.
Yeah, I that's a lot at home. USC's defense is still very sketchy, but I just don't think Colorado has like 3 good players on their entire team. Their quarterback is going to make some noise. I just think USC's got way too many good players. I'm
probably missing this one too, just like I'm probably going to miss that Nebraska game. But I did go 11-2 last week taking points, and I'm taking Colorado plus the 21.5 at home at 10 a.m. in the morning. Here's my pick of the week. Pick of the week. The Duke Blue Devils at home getting 6. against Notre Dame, that is a house bet. That's where the boys out in Vegas put their house on the money of their house on that game. The house bet. Yeah, they bet the house. That's just
they're betting the house on the Blue Devils, is what you're saying?
I would if I had a house to bet. It's Duke.
Well, you do. It's right there.
Yeah, well, I need to live in this. Okay, Duke +6. If I had multiple houses, I would house one of those multiple houses on Duke +6 against the Irish, too. The Irish are down. I'm telling you, Sam Hartman's great. But this kid, Riley Leonard, if you want to watch some exciting offense, you go to Mike Elko's Duke Blue Devils. They got 2 NFL corners on defense. They are very good. They are +6. And by the way, when they beat Notre Dame, that Florida State game is going to be probably, in my mind, for the regular season ACC championship coming up in a few weeks. So
Well, I mean, I like Duke too. I'm pulling for Duke because I hate Notre Dame, and it'd be a great story for Duke to beat Notre Dame in Durham. Duke. So I'll take the Dukies.
All right, SEC football. Here we go. South Carolina at Tennessee, 12.5. Gamecocks getting 12.5. Man, I know Tennessee is Tennessee, but up in Rocky Top. But man, I think South Carolina is better than people say they are, and I'm going to take the 12.5.
I like them too. I wouldn't be shocked if South Carolina wins the game.
Okay.
I don't think South Carolina's great either. They have offensive line issues. They got secondary issues, but it could be a shootout. And I trust Spencer Rattler more than I do Joe Milton.
Here's another house bet for me, dude. The LSU Tigers playing the Mississippi Black Bears. I'm taking LSU. It's a 2.5-point number.
Would this be your other house?
This would be the other house. Yes. So now 2 houses. There are 2 houses in the portfolio, but this is the other house. LSU at Mississippi laying 2.5. What's up with that line, QB? What's up with that line? 2.5.
Yeah, it's kind of sketchy, but I don't trust Ole Miss at all.
Yeah. Dart got racked last week. It's gonna come right at him again this week. If you're Brian Kelly, what are you gonna do? You're gonna put pressure on Jackson Dart just like Alabama did. They're gonna win the game.
I like the Bayou Bengals.
All right, here's the one. Mississippi at the Vanderbilt Commodores, 13.5. I'm sorry, Missouri, 13.5 though. Can they cover 13.5? Because they're gonna win. So can they cover?
This is an interesting game because Missouri's undefeated.
Yep.
Playing at playing at Vanderbilt's a horrible place to play.
There's no home.
I could see, because think about it. Missouri has come off back-to-back rivalry game wins.
Yeah, a lot.
Kansas State on the 61-yarder, and they beat Memphis in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
I think Vanderbilt keeps it close somehow, some way, as long as A.J. Swan doesn't throw 3 or 4 interceptions like he did last week.
Yeah.
Missouri's going to win the game, but I think that Vandy covers.
I hate Vandy. I'm taking Missouri. Auburn +4.5 at home against Georgia. 14.5. I said 4.5. 14.5. Georgia's now on the road. They're playing a team that will look somewhat like them instead of these junior varsity high school teams they've played for the last 3 weeks. Does Carson Beck get it done at Auburn, or can Auburn, with the crowd and the momentum and the rivalry that surrounds this game, keep it inside of 14.5? And I say they can. So I'm taking.
Well, it's the oldest rivalry in the Southeastern Conference. They are going to look a little bit like Georgia. They ain't going to play like Georgia though, JC.
No, definitely.
They can't. They are one of the worst offenses in the Southeastern Conference, maybe in America.
Yeah.
I think Georgia can win the game 24-0. Quite honestly. Now, however, weird things happen in Auburn.
Weird.
Crazy bounces and all this stuff.
Weird.
If none of that happens, I think Georgia wins. I don't think they blow them out. They win handily, but Auburn's got a decent defense, but offensively, I heard somebody say yesterday they need to get rid of Peyton Thorne, put that Robbie Ashford in there, and just let him run around. That's the only chance Auburn has to keep it close. But I think Georgia takes care of business.
All right, 14.5 is a lot, but yeah, that's. I'm going to take Auburn, but that's probably an L. But I'm just going against what I think. Texas A&M is in Dallas this weekend. They are playing Alabama next weekend. Arkansas is also in Dallas. I've been to this game one time in my life. It was really fun to watch. This is a really good game to watch. They play it in Dallas. It's the Aggies and the Hogs. Max Johnson now is the quarterback for the rest of the season. Connor Wegman is out for the year with a foot injury. Arkansas really came close last week at LSU, but that's no moral victories here. But Arkansas's catching 6, and I want the points. I want the points against A&M in Dallas. It's not a home game for either team, but I think I'll take the points. Close game.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to determine if Rocket Sanders plays for Arkansas. I think he is penciled in. I'll take the Hogs too. I think it'll be a close field goal type game.
And then finally, Alabama at 9 o'clock at night, Eastern, 8 o'clock Central in Starkville, Mississippi, laying 14.5, dude. 14.5. God. I mean, Mississippi State showed us some life offensively last week at Kentucky. Or no, it wasn't Kentucky.
It was South Carolina.
It was South Carolina, excuse me. I get sometimes South Carolina and Kentucky to me, it seemed like the same team. Mississippi State is catching 2 touchdowns. Alabama's good, but can they cover 14.5? And I'm going to say no and take Mississippi State plus the points because
I'll take the
letting Will
Tide.
Rogers throw the ball a little bit.
Yeah, I could see this game being 28-10.
That'd be fine with me. But I'm going to.
You would lose. You would lose.
Yeah. And then we've got
I don't know how much Mississippi State can score. And you just got to think mentally. I think the first quarter and a half it'll be close, but I think Alabama will pull away.
I hope I lose that pick. All right. Then we have 3 NFL games. The 3 Florida teams. Jacksonville's playing the first of 2 games in England. God, I mean, think about that. The Falcons and Jacksonville in England.
And it's had some like that. The game is like they're doing like Toy Story animation during the game. I don't know. I'll be playing golf, so I don't really care.
It's a hokey bunch of crap. The Jags are 1-2 with 2 bad home losses. They better turn it around against the Falcons, or you can forget about this season. And my season tickets are going to be worth about as much as the napkin I just wiped my mouth with after eating my yogurt. So, and that's not much money. So Jacksonville's laying 3. I'm just going to take them because I think they're going to turn around away from home, get out of the Duval world for a while, and play a little bit better football, hopefully. So, what do you think?
So it's 3 or 3.5?
It's 3, laying 3, a field goal.
Against the Falcons. I'm not a Desmond Ritter guy. I think the Falcons are a very much improved team.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with the Jags too. I wouldn't be shocked if the Falcons win.
Tough pick. Here's a game you'll like. Jameis Winston is playing quarterback again, and he's playing for the Saints, who are getting Alvin Kamara back from his 3-game suspension for getting into a fight at a nightclub. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Saints laying 3.5. Maybe they'll score some points this weekend, but Tampa Bay coming off Monday night looked really bad against the Eagles. It's hard for me to take the Bucs. I'm going to take the Saints, even with Jameis Winston, because I think they're going to get Kamara involved a lot in this game, so they're going to win.
The Saints are on the road or at home?
No, it's in New Orleans. It's in New Orleans. And
okay, I like them in the dome. Saints defense is nasty.
Really good defense, yeah. And Philadelphia kind of locked up Tampa last week. I see the same thing happening in the Superdome. And then the game of the week is what we spoke about earlier, mentioned it anyway. The Dolphinos playing at Buffalo, and the spread is 2.5 points. So, I mean, the Buffalo Bills are favored. I'm sure that's just a home field thing, I guess. But how do you stop Miami? And that's the question we all want to see.
You got to hope a snowstorm comes into town, right?
I don't think that's happening right now in September. No. So Miami laying 2.5. Buffalo's my AFC pick for the year. I don't know. You tell me first, and then I'll tell you what I think.
Well, I love what the Dolphins are doing. They're fun to watch. I think they're clearly the fastest team I've ever seen in pro football. But it's the National Football League. Yeah. Week to week, things change. Buffalo is very good, especially at home. I'm going to say Buffalo covers the spread.
Yep, I'm saying Buffalo wins with a field goal at the very end. But it would not at all surprise me to see Miami take this game. But again, Buffalo defense is physical. They're good. They're fast. They can hang, I think, with the Dolphins. But Tua, look, the question is, can they get to Tua? If they get to Tua, they absolutely can win the game. But if they let Tua just sit back, I think Tua's been sacked 1 time this season. Once. And so Miami's done a great job.
Who have the Dolphins played? The Broncos and who else? It's kind of one of those deals where you look at with the Cowboys. The Cowboys were so dominant first 2 weeks, but they played the Jets and the Giants.
Right. Then they went to Arizona, though. I mean,
who's awful too and got dominated.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, you're right. NFL football is it is. So they beat the Broncos by 50. We know that. They beat the Patriots 24-17 on the road.
A bad football team.
And they beat the San Diego Chargers, who were playing in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah,
36-34. 36-34 though. So Herbert was successful scoring points, and I think your boy is going to, your boy's going to have some success scoring on the Dolphins at quarterback, because he won't turn the ball over. When Buffalo doesn't turn the ball over, Buffalo can beat anybody. We know that, but when they turn the ball over, they can lose to anybody. So it's all about Josh Allen. What does Josh Allen want? I mean, what does he want to do? So we'll see.
Chris from Mayaca sent a picture about the coolest mascot is the Dartmouth mascot. He's called Keggy the Keg. And this goofy kid it's like he's got a keg. I thought they were the Mean Green.
They are.
No, Dartmouth.
How about this? This guy is the coolest, one of the coolest mascots. Look at that barrel-chested gator. I mean, that's what I grew up with. That's on the pennant.
Can we see what the barrel-chested gator looks like with you, JC? No, not. Yeah, that's it.
I love that dude, man. He is so cool, and I will be forever wearing this gator. If when I show my gator mascot.
Hey, Van Der has a question for you, JC.
Okay, Van.
He says, JC, I'm a federal government employee who's going to be furloughed. Will you give me a job for a few days? I can caddy for you.
Hell yeah, man. Whatever you need, man. I'm here for you, brother. I take a cart, but if you want to be my caddy and give me some distances, I could use the help.
Maybe he can read putts for you, JC.
Well, these greens out here, I don't think it matters what you read.
No.
But, God, they're slow. Man, they're slow. Ugh.
Well, all y'all have to do is go to John Deere and get the blades for Verticut.
They rent those. By the way. I learned that they rent the blades to verticut these greens out here.
They've never verticutted those greens. I don't think have ever been verticut.
No, they have, but it's few and far between. Very few and far between. And they rented the blades. That's what the guy told me. I said, "You've got to be kidding."
All right, before we get you out of here, JC,
blades?
And we go to break, Andy has a request from you. He says, "Can JC do his Texas A&M cheers?"
I'm going to start.
Those dudes giggle. This is why they love you around the world, JC.
All about the head. Look, the hogs are going to roll this week. I'm telling you, watch out for Arkansas Aggies.
All right, so JC's lead pipe house locks are LSU, and who was the other one?
Duke at home +6.
Duke and LSU are your homeless picks.
I will be homeless, or I will have 2 homes to rent. So we'll see what happens.
All right, JC,
I hope my wife is not watching this, because she's not going to like that bit. But I just have extreme confidence in Duke. I really do believe in them. And LSU, they're just athletically, they're just going to punk Mississippi. And it's just, Lane can do what he wants, but LSU's it's going to be the same thing you saw last week. The physical nature of LSU is going to be the same thing as the Alabama game. And that's not good for Mississippi. It's too bad they have to play these two. Think about this. Mississippi plays Alabama and LSU back-to-back, okay? Who in the Big Ten can say they have 2 games back-to-back like that? Who?
Nobody.
And then, what if Georgia was on the schedule next week for Mississippi? Think about that. I mean, that could happen, right? With the scheduling that's about to come.
Well, they do play Georgia. They do play Georgia in a couple weeks.
Right, they play Georgia. So they got Georgia, LSU, and Alabama. LSU and Alabama back to back. Is anybody in the Big Ten or anywhere looking at something like that on their damn schedule? And the answer is absolutely not.
Well, when Iowa has to play Michigan and Ohio State and USC, maybe, or Oregon. Hey, real quick, JC, Ted wants to know about your fantasy locks. How'd they do last week, and what are your fantasy locks this week?
Got to do the fantasy. Damn, Ted, you're right. Shoot, man, I'm so wound up in these games, and I forgot the fantasy lock.
That's okay. We'll let you have a bye week.
Well, I'd say the Saints are going to really feature Kamara this weekend, because they got to score some points. I would look at Alvin Kamara getting 20 or more points for sure. But anybody
wants to know, dude, he missed our picks for the Gators game. JC, what's going to happen with the Gators?
You're right. Florida's going to play Kentucky. The spread is 1.5 points right now. Kentucky is the favorite. I don't think that means a damn thing. I think it shows how confident that Vegas is in Florida's ability after that Utah game, and Florida will win the game 27-23. And that's, I think, about what you're going to look at, a 4 to 6 point game, maybe more.
Yeah, I got Gators winning 24-14. All right, JC, have a good weekend, my man.
Good. We'll see you Monday. Go Gators.
That's JC joins on the Titan Tomorrow hotline. Take a quick time out, come back to get some more of these text messages and Facebook Lives and YouTubes. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back. We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law attorneys of the Florida Gators. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Campus USA, put some star power to work in your financial life with Campus USA Credit Union. Dave & Buster's, eat, drink, play, watch. Our gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogre State Farm Insurance, Radware, F45, Quality Plumbing. Our touchdown sponsors are Adams Ribs, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteak, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Silver Q Billiards and Sports Bar. If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Is your bank dropping the ball, not playing with heart or skill? Then you need to check out the scouting report on Campus USA Credit Union. That's a 5-star recruit if I've ever seen one. Campus has it all, like great rates and products, friendly service, and smart game plans for you and your money. So why not put some star power in your financial life? Visit campuscu.com or any campus service center today.
Honey, can I recruit you to take the garbage out?
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Silverback Concrete's a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists that build commercial structures with unrivaled quality. Silverback Concrete, you stand on it, we stand by it. I want to thank JC for his entertainment today. Join us on the Titan MR hotline. Let's see here. We had a couple here that I wanted to get to real quick on Facebook. Let me find the one that I wanted. Can't find it. But anyway, Lucas says, good morning, QB. I'm going through some stuff and the broadcast with Sean and yourself, and Tate has helped me get through it. Go Gators. Well, good. Whatever you're going through, my man, hope it's okay. Jerry said, Shane, wouldn't it be great if we put the Gator head on the helmet? Yeah, I prefer the Gator head or the leaning F, as I call it. I don't know what they call it, the speed F or whatever. Yeah, I'm kind of over the bubble font, but whatever. Reggie says, Shane, when you played, was there a stadium that you never got a chance to play in that you wish you got to play in? Yeah, well, I'd have to think about that, Reggie. That's a good question. I guess you're talking pro ball. You know, college ball, I never got to go to Georgia. I've been there to see it, but not in a game. I didn't play, obviously, at A&M. I've been there. But yeah, there's stadiums that I did not get a chance to play in that would be cool to go to for sure. College, you're saying college. Yeah, back in our days, played in all the ones in the East. You know, Missouri wasn't around then. I didn't get to play in Oxford. Got to play in Starkville, but not in Oxford. I'd been there 1,000 times though as a kid. But it'd been cool to go back to where my dad played. I would have liked that for sure. Chris says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, Florida hasn't looked good on the road. What are you seeing, QB? That's true. Have not had a great record on the road. I think Billy's only win is at A&M. I think this team is way more mature, though, even though it's young. I talk about it all the time, how young this team is, but they got great leadership at key positions. I think our two tailbacks are tremendous leaders. I think the quarterback's outstanding. Defensively, you got Jason Marshall Jr., who's been around, but I think the Princely's a good leader, and you got the big guys inside. So I think it will be a good week for sure. Andy asked Shane, how soon before you become a grandpa? Everybody's doing great. It could be any day now, quite honestly, Andy. Hopefully it's not Saturday while we're in Lexington. Cliff asked on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, how was it playing in the Carrier Dome? It was interesting. It was very loud, but it was just weird playing in that arena. Playing in a little small dome on a college campus was kind of strange. But it's a good environment. Back in those days, it was for sure. John says on YouTube, hopefully the run game and D travels. I think our defense is going to play. I think they're going to have serious trouble with our defensive line. I don't think people realize how good Cam Jackson and Caleb Banks have played this year. Huge upgrade with those two guys coming in from the transfer portal. I think Kentucky has some issues with their interior linemen that I think we can take a big advantage of for sure. 1966 HBC beers available at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Gator Games in the Swamp, and select retail outlets. Crisp American Lager. That's 1966 HBC beer. So we have a couple more texts here. This is from Jimmy in Memphis, Tennessee. He says, I hope the Vols get their brains beat out. Shane, what are your thoughts on the Kentucky game? I think we win the game. Thanks for the text. I think the keys to the game are controlling Kentucky's run game. They haven't run it real well this year. They're basically getting stuffed, and Devin Leary is throwing the ball like taking shots. Kentucky's had a lot of success this year. I think they lead the league in rush defense. Now they haven't really played anybody, but Mark Stoops is a tremendous defensive minded head coach, so it could present some problems. That's why I think we need to throw on first down quite a bit. Curl routes, things of that nature, high percentage throws, get them out of our hands. We just got to go in there and weather the storm the first quarter. Don't turn it over. Don't shank any punts. Don't get punts blocked. Just, weather the storm the first quarter and get into the flow of the game. But if we can get ahead of them by, a score or two, that would be great. No doubt about it. Chris wants to know what time we flying to Kentucky. We leave around 3:30 today, I think. So quick trip. Be a good quick trip. So hope you enjoyed today's program, folks. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I got one more Facebook Live here. Andy just asked, do you know Mark Stoops well enough to chat with him in Lexington? I do know Mark. I used to see him quite a bit with his brothers, Mike and Bob, over at Crescent Beach. Bob has about 4 condos and a house over there. But I will not be able to. When we get there, I kind of walk on around the field, waste a little time, take some pictures, and then I got to go up to the box. So by the time Stoops comes out for pregame warm-up and stuff, I'm already up in the box on the air. So he's a good dude, though, and has done a tremendous job for the Kentucky Wildcats. Kevin, real quick, says, Shane, I think you're right about the Lions. They were manhandling the Packers last night. I think they have a shot to go deep in the playoffs. Yeah, I think them and the 49ers and the Eagles are probably the best team. I would probably lean towards the 49ers right now. I'd probably rank them 49ers, Lions, Eagles in that order from what I've seen so far. Long year ahead, though. Rooster asks, yeah, we got time for this on YouTube, brought to you Quality Pullman. QB, of the times you were sacked, pro or college, which one will you never forget? There was a couple. There was one I'll never forget, Mississippi State. We played Mississippi State down in Orlando. I think it was my junior year. And a dude blindsided me, drove my head straight into the ground. You see those commercials of the stars and all that, blacking out and stars flashing. Well, that's what happened. In today's world, I would not have gone back into the game, but I played the rest of the game. But one of my really good friends, Blake Brockermeyer, was my left tackle, both in Carolina and Chicago. We were playing the Buffalo Bills, and I want to say it was Bruce Smith beat him. And you hear it's a joke like in practice or, in middle school football when the when the lineman hollers, "Look out." I heard him with the crowd noise telling me to look out because I was getting ready to get clobbered. So that's pretty funny. I mean, he hit me pretty good, but just the whole dynamics of him getting beat off the line of scrimmage and him yelling "look out," somehow I heard it and still took a blow. Still took a blow for sure. Um, I don't know what this text means at all that just got sent to me. So anyway, all right, folks, that's going to do it for today's program. Make sure you tune in. I don't know if the Ryder Cup team has a chance. I don't know where they stand right now. Could be ugly. Hopefully the Gators aren't ugly with their play in Lexington and we can talk about another win.